Thanks for clicking. You're listening to Time In with yours truly, Tommy Cringer. With me is always the magical wand of sports talk, Mr. Ricardo Lungas.
Abracadabra, Tommy. I won't come in with a flourish of doves and pigeons and stuff like that, flowers flopping all over the place. Hey, I like to come in the room, give you the sports, wow, or make your mind wander and with wow and all that good little stuff is what I do, Tommy. It's what I do.
That is what you do. And today, you're not pulling a rabbit out of your hat. You're pulling out a new guest, an old friend of ours from back in the day, and we've talked to him before in some failed projects and stuff like that. But first time on Time In, why don't you introduce our guest?
Oh, this is a buddy. This is a pal that we have known for years upon years upon years. You know, I can't say enough about this guy. Honestly, I can't say enough about Mr. Tony. No, Anthony North. My bad. Anthony, Mr. Anthony North, my good buddy. How you doing?
Hey, Ricardo. I appreciate that. I mean, Anthony North is my name. Some people call me Tony, and I don't take offense to it, but it's not who I am.
I know. Me and Tommy, we sometimes slip up, but I know you're Anthony, and we're not gonna get into the backstory about that dude Tony North. We're not gonna get into that right now.
Tony North, that's not his real name. That's the thing that bothered a lot of people, but people still accept him because he took a little bit of the. He appropriated the image to some degree because of Anthony North, because of lawsuits. We can't talk too much about all that stuff. But it's great to have you on the show. Anthony. Let's get to the topic today. The topic is, I was thinking, recently I stepped on a turtle.
Tommy.
Hurt my, no, we talked about
Tommy.
this before. We talked about. But it happened again.
Tommy.
So, this.
Did you say again?
Again. Okay, so I've had people out. My yard, I talked about this privately with some people. My yard is I'm starting to see more turtles in the green. It's hard to see the grass. And this one, so I stepped on it and I slid. I slid because the grass just, I don't know, it had some buoyancy. And it was several feet. It was like being on a slip and slide, this thing. I mean, this turtle was oiled up, like performing some kind of, I don't know what turtles do. They oil their bodies and stuff. But it reminded me of this year in sports. There's been a lot of slipping and sliding and crashing and falling and bruising. And it's been a tipsy-turvy year for a lot of athletes. And I think part of it's the COVID thing. I mean, you're coming off of COVID. You got one foot in the COVID world and one foot in, we're trying to get out of this thing. And players are just not as on their A game or what. Let's talk about some of these things that have been happening. It's just a bumbling year.
Well, if I may, I want to go over to I want to mention one thing real quick. And I feel for the fella. I feel for the fella because I have broken many a bone in my life. Because I used to live life on the edge a little bit. I used to go out there. I used to do my thing here and there, put my whole heart into it. But Mr. McGregor from the MMA, he had a little ankle breakage there, a little bit down there, in his most recent fight. He was doing good. It was a pretty good fight. Both dudes, they were throwing down, but he stepped back just a little weird. Just a little. He stepped back. Got that foot and just crickety crack. What can you do? And then you gotta lose the bout over a TKO. What can you do? I feel for the fella.
I don't know if I feel bad for the fella. I think about what he's put into this. He's created, I think, a lot of hatred and animosity. I think a lot of people wanted to see him, just collapse in a pile of broken bones. And he gave the people what they want. I mean, truly, he is a man of the people.
Yo, yeah, I mean, yo, yeah, exactly. Yo, you couldn't have said it any better. You couldn't have said it any better. You know, people, hey, people like to see violence and death and people getting all the face broken and whatnot. And hey, what you got? It's MMA, baby.
I would have liked to see a little Rousey action. I mean, I did want to see somebody just straight up knock him out. But in true McGregor fashion, he took care of it himself.
Oh, you can't let nobody else get the glory. The other people, they can't get the glory. But hey, you can't take me out. I take myself out. I got what you're saying, Anthony. I got what you're saying.
But the milk commission, the big milk people should have gotten in the road on this one. Said, yeah, he's not drinking his milk, and they could have turned this into something saying, listen, you're drinking milk. All these athletes go on these diets. There's so many different diets that are going on. I'm questioning how much milk he's got.
Well, it's a butter industry. I mean, we're not. I don't really understand how he avoided it. I mean, you're Irish, right? Where's the milk? I don't understand McGregor.
Yeah, that's true. That's a dairy country. There's a lot. They even have towns named Dairy.
Exactly.
That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, somebody's got to do some investigative work here. But yeah, that's a good one to start off with. So the one that I'm thinking of as far as slipping, and it reminded me is Serena.
Oh, that was a tragedy right there.
That was, I mean, you all saw this. It was her left leg. She went back and looked like she was putting some weight on it and slid, and that leg just went. And it's painful to watch. And it's like this is ridiculous. Okay, here's the thing. I mean, this is, I get the tradition of the game and all this stuff. But you have the biggest athlete to ever play the game, one of the best athletes of any sport. I mean, this is really, Serena will go down as one of the greatest athletes of all time, regardless of how you classify a gender or a sport or, it's just, so if a little bit of moisture can take out your greatest athlete, there's something wrong with your game. There's something wrong, and you got to fix it. It was another player that went down too.
Adrian.
Yeah.
Adrian. He went down too. I think he had like a knee injury, like Serena. He slipped. Tweaked that knee. Once that knee's tweaked, you ain't gonna be running around like on grass and being all hitting the ball and whatnot. Once your knee's all tweaked.
There's no way. You watch. I mean, tennis. I think it's a bad rap for people. It's an athletic sport. I mean, you watch it. It's just because it's one-on-one. A lot of people just don't like one-on-one sports. They want to see a bunch of them. You have like 7 or 8 tennis players playing against each other. Then more people watch it maybe. But the thing is that you got to stop the grass stuff. This whole purist notion of playing the grass, even the clay people, they say, okay, the clay, people get hurt on the clay courts. Like, look, basketball got rid of playing on grass years ago. I mean, that's how it was originally played. Guys are slipping and sliding all over the place. And they say, we got to play this indoors and on a hard court. And, tennis got the hard court, but they don't see many matches inside. You do see a few, but no, you're going to be a purist. You got to, you can't, half-ass it, right? Like, you don't see goats out there, sheep eating the grass like they used to do. You don't see like a peasant in a robe out there with a scythe, cutting the grass. No, they use mowers and stuff. And you got cameras out there. All right, so put tennis inside. Come on, let's move it. I mean, you even in basketball, you got guys with towels and rags and mops mopping up spit. Or you got a tennis player that's got an OCD thing. And he starts spitting all over the place. And you have cheaters that come in there, and they'll put like a water balloon in their pants and bust it, and that way, they'll walk around and they could cheat. It's really, come on.
I agree. That morning dew, on the grass, is a very terrible thing and can lead to lots of slips and slides. And the Wimbledon court, they didn't, somebody could have went out there with like a little grass dryer thing, like a little, Wimbledon makes millions a year, millions upon millions of dollars. They could have had people out there with hair dryers or whatnot, drying off the grass or whatnot.
Baseball uses helicopters sometimes.
Exactly. Wimbledon could have come up with a way to make that grass nice and dry, and we wouldn't have had this thing. Hey, I mean, it makes sense. You don't want your big star. You don't want the big money Even the people that are still in the match, they're still complaining about how stuff was all slippy, sliding, and whatnot.
They can complain all they want, but the fact of the matter, humans are just not made for what we're telling them to do. Okay, I was watching the Westminster agility contest, a dog show. They've got these 6-pound dogs running 50 miles an hour, turning on a dime, cutting through pipes and those little like irrigation hoses. I don't know who makes a dog run through irrigation hose, but that's what I saw on TV the other day. And I watched this. I watched the trainer. Okay, how this guy's a trainer is beyond me. But Buddy tried turning left. Okay, the dog had run circles, jumps. The guy simply tried turning left, almost killed the dog. 2 feet. We're just not made for this. Okay, evolution should have told us we can't climb trees. We can barely jump. Some of us can. Okay, not myself. I avoid jumping. If I need to, I will use the handrail when I'm going upstairs. And if there's no handrail, I'll probably just look for a ramp. Okay, we're not really made for this. So I can't think of any excuse Wimbledon has other than this is a ridiculous sport. This tennis should be banned. Look at what it's done to these people.
Tennis should be banned.
Tennis should be banned.
What are you smoking over there?
I've seen horrific. Roger Federer's had how many surgeries? Back surgeries, knee surgeries.
Right.
I've seen baseball players. They go 20 years. These guys. Maybe they should think about wearing cleats.
Yeah. Cleats. Yeah, that's not a horrible idea. I mean, you got you make them sound like they're not tough. I mean, you got tough people wearing cleats. Football players wear them, but they pat them up, and you got those guys that are cutting down trees, like up in Canada. They got those spiky shoes that like razor blades on them and stuff like that. It's not because they're weak individuals. It's because they don't want to hit their head. But no, I would say ban the game. You got to go back to Teddy Roosevelt in football and stuff, and he was threatening to ban football, and that's you got the forward pass. No, you get elaborate with the game. You have to advance the game because you advance the game. Then players you play on a court like a hard court. Yeah, players get more elaborate. You're going to see like some crazy like jump plays and spin moves, and it's gonna imagine somebody flipping like doing a flip spin. And maybe kicking using the racket with a foot or something. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that it takes some time to do that, right? I mean, skateboarders playing the game. You could probably do something elaborate. A skateboarder's not going to play a game of tennis right now. He's like it's on grass. It doesn't make sense. The mobility's not there. They're onto it.
What we really need to look at when it comes to tennis, and we got to look at the safety. Football, we made it safer, baseball, stuff like basketball. We all did things to make it safer. Now, we got to get to tennis because people are hurting themselves on these courts. We got to make things safer. Personally, I think tennis players should wear knee braces like linemen in the NFL. That's what I think. You got to get those knees where they need to be. And, have that athletic, that kinesthetic, tape that they had everybody's wearing nowadays. Could that Kino Sissix, tape that the people there?
The Kino stuff, yeah.
Hey, have them wear compression stuff. You got to keep that stuff in. You got to keep, there's like, I won't be able to move as much. But your internal body parts will stay where they need to be when you're moving around and stuff like that. Your knees won't be going left and right the wrong way. That's what I say personally, Yeah, and that's a whole new industry of money that could be going out there. People can come out with like, those special knee braces just for tennis players, and they can move quicker, really fast, really good, abilities. That's a whole market right there, a whole market, guys.
You're right, but you're one step away. You do that, you're a step away from robotics, and like you're gonna have like people with like robotic legs and stuff and. The robotic industry is looking for a sport to get involved in. And we talked, and privately we talked about that with football, if they're going to do the robot football league. But the thing, this is, I agree with you, Ricardo. But I just think I keep going back to this. Follow what basketball did. Basketball went from being a niche sport. It was a sport. You throw in a ball into a basket. I do that every day. Like people do that every day. You throw a ball, paper in a trash receptacle, or you're throwing a sponge or a what do they call it, a lufka into the bath because your wife is complaining because she can't get the worms off her legs because she comes home after that's a long story. So you got to follow. My point is that you've got to follow suit with a sport that went from like the bottom of the pile to the top. The NBA basketball is one of the best sports to watch. I mean, look at the finals. I mean, the finals the competition is incredible. So tennis just needs to follow basketball. You put it on the hard court, put it inside, get some more players on the court, and you're good.
Hey, you heard it here first, folks. Indoor, hardwood, tennis, team tennis, or like multiple court tennis. You got like 8 different courts going at the same time. You sit next to your favorite tennis player. Bam, indoor hardwood tennis. It's coming to you, coming in the future. And that's the end of the game. Thanks for clicking. This is Time In with Ricardo Lungus. With me is Tommy Crenshaw and Anthony North. TTFN.